Om Durjana Sajjano Bhuyat Sajjana Shanti Mapnuyat Shanto Mucceta Bandebhyo Muktaschanyan Vimochayet. O Lord, please make every wicked people to be converted into righteous people. Let all the righteous people or gentle people may attain the peace. Let all the people who have attained peace strive for liberation. Let all the liberated people may help other beings, fellow beings, to get liberated. Om, peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, we were discussing Narada's Bhakti Sutras, Narada's aphorisms on devotion. So, what is devotion? If you ask in a simple way, or in a single sentence, or in a single word, we can say love. Love towards love towards God is what we mean devotion. So till now, we have seen many aphorisms on how to improve our love towards God, and what is love, and what is the requirement or what is the necessity we need love or devotion. All these things we have seen. Now, after describing do's and don'ts, by doing this, your love towards God will be increased. By not doing this, your love towards God is increased. After saying do's and don'ts, now he is trying to speak few things about how to attain devotion, one or two things, one or two aphorisms. Afterwards, he starts explaining the beauty of or the greatness of the devotion. The devotee who has got such a supreme devotion, when he is there in such a place, what it will be, how the people will be able to enjoy. All these things will be said by the celestial sage Narada. Probably in my first class, in my beginning, around 20 class before, I told very clearly. This Narada himself was a great devotee. He himself born in a very poor family. Probably his father was also unknown, and mother was an housemaid servant. He came from such a background, but because of his devotion towards the Lord, he attained he attained the supreme devotion, and he became the celestial sage. That is what we call Devarshi. Celestial sage means he has got the power. He can know past, he knows present, and he can know future. Not only that, he can go to any different worlds. Now, when you get yogic powers, you can also know past and future, no doubt. But here, the one more thing is Devarshis, he can go to any other worlds also. For above worlds also he can go, and he can come to this earth, mundane world, and he can go to the below worlds also. That much capacity he has got. And he can meet any god and goddesses. That much, free license or open visa. Just like we have got, if you are a Irish citizen, you can go to many other countries without visa. Visa on arrival is available. So for him, there is no visa required to any world. There are different worlds according to the Indian mythology. So without any visa, he can go to different worlds. Such capacity, such power, such respect was commanded by Narada among the celestial beings. And such a person has written is this aphorisms on devotion. So it is out of experience he has written. It is not just intellectual speculation. Why? He himself was the greatest devotee. He himself dedicated his complete life for the God. So when he is saying these things, it carries a lot of weightage because it is out of experience and out of realization he is telling all these things. Tadarpita akila acharah san kama krodhapimanadikam tasminneva karniyam. How one should, the devotee who has got supreme devotion. There's a primary devotion, secondary devotion, preliminary devotion, or supreme devotion. So a person who has got supreme devotion, how he will behave. And if you want to attain the supreme devotion, how you have to behave, what you should do, both are told here. because the person what has realized, for him it is a state of the mind, it is as a natural affair, but for a aspirant he has to attain that state. A devotee, an aspirant who wishes to attain supreme devotion, what he has to do, he has to devote all his actions towards the Lord. There's a beautiful Shiva Manasa Puja Stotra. There he says, O Lord, I am walking on this earth. Let that be the circumventing towards you. I am talking with the people. I am conversing with the people. Let be the prayer of you for you. And my mind has become restless, or my senses are restless. There are a lot of activities of my mind and senses. Let them be the dance in front of you. And whatever I do, I offer every bit of my action to you. So let every action be worship. Let my every work be worship. What a beautiful, what a grand idea. So that's what Tadarpita Akila Acharaha means. Devote all actions towards the Lord. Work is worship. Probably in our Karma Yoga class, we know how the butcher taught religion for a monk. If, for an example, you are a politician or a bureaucrat, or even a businessman, or you are a kingship, or whatever is there, you may come from any walk of life, you may do any work, all that work can be divinized, all that work can be spiritualized. That's what he is saying. How? By offering the actions and actions, fruits of action at the feet of the Lord. So that actions will not bind us, and instead of that actions will purify us when we offer the fruits of actions to the Lord. And also our love and devotion towards the Lord, it gets increased. That means what? I will be nearer to the divine, I will be nearer to the God. So Dadarpita Akila Achara. Devote all your actions and results of actions to the Lord. Then Kama Krodha Abhimanadikam. Kama, the lust, any type of desire, of course, here. Krodha, anger, Abhimana, pride, all and etc. All these things you turn towards God. This is a very wonderful point. We have to think, all of us. I have got a desire. I want to look fine. I've got a desire that I want to achieve. I have a desire to achieve money. I have a desire for power. I have desire for name and fame. I have desire for so many achievements. Individually, we have got different desires. Now, he's telling that spiritualize all desires. From worldly desires, you spiritualize and make them spiritual desires. How? If you desire, you should desire for God and God alone. Yes, I have got a desire. So turn the devotes towards God. If I desire for God, God realization, God company, God's love, God's grace, God's compassion. So all your desires, whatever we have got, instincts and desires, you turn towards the God and say that I desire for God and God alone. That's what the author is telling that. So you should channelize your instincts. You have to channelize your lower instincts, and you give a higher lift so that it becomes divinized. How to spiritualize our life? How to spiritualize our thinking? How to spiritualize our thoughts? How to spiritualize our feelings? How to spiritualize our instincts? Yes, here is the answer. So desire, yes, turn the desire towards the God so that I will have an intense desire for God and God alone. That's what we see clearly in Sri Ramakrishna's life. After he became a priest, temple priest, he started doing worship just like any other priest in a perfect way. Slowly, he had got an intense desire, intense yearning for to see the Mother Kali. If you are there, let me see. He never thought of money, he never thought of name and fame, he never thought of anything else. He had an intense desire to see God, to see Mother face to face. If she is there, let me see face to face. It is not speculation. It should be matter of experience. That's what we're. And anger in the life, either with the family people, with the friends, with the relatives, with the company people, where in the working place we are working. Many times we have got exchange of hot words because of relationships, because of clash of ego, or because of understandings, misunderstandings. We get angry on any member of the family. Then what should I do? Anger is one of the greatest enemy in our spiritual life. Of course, even mundane life also. Because of our anger, what happens? Our thinking gets blocked. So we have to be very careful in while getting angry. So now the Narada is saying that you turn this anger. Anger has got a tremendous force, no doubt, but it is a negative force. Turn that anger towards God, and so that you convert the anger, negative force into positive force. How to understand this? How can I be angry towards God? Oh God, you didn't protect me, so I'm angry at you. Oh God, I gave my list of desires. You never fulfilled all of this. I'm angry with you. From today onwards, I will not think about you. I will not talk with you. I will not remember you. I will never, even in the dream, I will not think you. There are people like sometimes when they get deeply hurt, they become atheists. Oh, I believed in God. I prayed for God. I prayed so much, but God didn't protect me. So henceforth, I will not think of God. So they are angry towards God. So is Narada is also mentioning this type of anger towards God? No. What Narada means that if you want to be angry, turn that anger towards God means let me be angry on myself. Oh my God, I know that you are alone is true. You are the only person who are fit for love, actually. But unfortunately, though I know all these things, I am unable to love you in toto, in completely. I am struck in so many things. I've been bound by so many things. I want to get away from this. I want to get rid of all these bondages, and I want to embrace you. I want to love you. Though I want, I am not able to do. So becoming angry on me only, or because of weakness, or because of laziness, or because of a lag, probably lacking in our understandings, or lagging in our attempts, or in our hard work, or sadhana, spiritual practice towards you. I am lagging behind. I have not got even the supreme devotion, para bhakti. That's the reason I am anger with me. So the real devotees will be anger on themselves, not on anyone else. So turn this anger, the negative force, into positive force. That's what the Narada is saying. Pride. Oh, I'm a PhD holder, you know. How can you speak like this? Oh, I have achieved so many things. I'm a gold medalist. Or I have got a very good, I'm a perfectionist in my work. And I've done this, I've done that. So I have got a pride about myself. I should have a confidence on myself. I should have self confidence, no doubt, but I should not have a pride. There's a subtle difference between pride and confidence. I should not have inferiority complex. I should not feel that I'm weak or I'm wrong or unnecessarily I am lower than others and all. No, I should not feel unnecessarily. But at the same time, I should not have superiority complex. Neither I should have inferiority complex, nor I should have superiority complex. So both complexes should be avoided. We should not have any complexes. We should be simple enough. So here, pride. So, how to convert this pride into the spiritual pride? Sri Ramakrishna says very clearly, you convert this pride or ego into from unripened ego into the ripened ego. How? Yes, I am the servant of God. I am the son of God, or I am the daughter of the God. So when if you feel pride anything about your achievements, external achievements and all, instead of that, you start feeling that yes, I am the servant of God. I am the son of God. I am the daughter of God. I am the part and parcel of the God. So such things, if you initially it is of course superimposing, initially it is artificial, no doubt, but by doing constantly, slowly, your unripened ego will get converted into ripened ego. That we see very clearly in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. Of course, he had a pride, he had a ego. What? I am a son of, or I am a child of Mother Kali. Similarly, Adi Shankaracharya, the greatest philosopher, he also had ego. What ego? I am the Atman, I am the self, I am the pure consciousness. So they had ripened egos. So convert this unripened ego into ripened ego. How? Feeling that I am the part and parcel of God, I am the part of God, I am the son of God, I am the servant of God, or I am the daughter of God, or what? Like this. So that it will not be harmful for our spiritual life. The moment I get a pride, what happens? And so all the values goes down in my life. I get covered myself, and I will not be able to understand my defects. I'll not be able to understand my wrongdoings, and I will be thinking that I am always right and the world and others are not right. And many times we will land into problem, and we will be away from the God, because God doesn't like the people who are having a pride unnecessary. So direct all your instinct towards a God and give a higher lift to them. Now, this question may come, why do we need this, all these things? Instead of that, we will suppress. Now I have got a desire to enjoy this world. Let me suppress, let me repress. And I'm feeling that, okay, some ostentation or a pride or jealousy or anger, all these things comes because we're all human beings, no doubt. When it comes, we'll suppress, we will repress. Why should we? This idea we may get, but it is not that easy to suppress and repress all the times. Instead of that, the Upanishadic sages or the sages in the Upanishads have given a beautiful idea, theory of sublimation. What is this sublimation? To get two chocolates, I will not eat one chocolate. Or to get first rank in the to get a gold medal in the university during my graduation, so I will spend more time in studies. I could have easily watched cricket, I could have easily watched movies, I could have done internet surfacing, and I could have had a pleasurable life. But instead of that, I had a goal that I will achieve gold medal. I will stand first during my graduation, during my university exams. So that I reduced my pleasurable moments and I dedicated my time towards the God and God alone. So that is what we mean sublimation. This is a beautiful psychological experiment, Maslow experiment. The experiment goes like this: 5 to 6 kids were kept in a separate rooms in a single room. There are 3, 4, 5 uh, age children, kids. So they were kept in separate, and the Maslow was given, and the Maslow was kept on the table, and the child was told that, look, I'm going out for some work. Just in a minute or two, I'll come back. When I come back, if the Maslow is left on the table without you eating, then I will give two. If you eat away, then you will not get the second ones. So, like this, 6 to 8, 10 kids were kept in separate rooms, and the Maslow or the sweet chocolate was kept, and they were telling this simultaneously. It was happened this experiment, and they were about to complete the sentence. 2 or 3 children they didn't hear. Simply they took and they started eating. 2 or 3 children, they listened, they looked at them, they stayed at the elders, and they eat 2 or 3. Then other people they nodded their heads, and the elder person, when he went out, they tried to control. They tried to control by not eating. Maybe after a few seconds they were unable to, and some of them they ate away. Only among 10 kids, 2 or 3 kids were able to control and they were calm. And when the elders came, 2 or 3 kids had not eaten and they had got second sweet or second chocolate or second marshmallow. And after 20, 25 years, when all these 10 students were made a survey, the 2 or 3 children who had a control even at the childhood days, they had achieved many things in their life, in the mundane life. So self-control is very, very important. Now, simply control your desires, suppress your anger, suppress your all instincts. If you say it is terrible, it is not that easy. That will have its own reactions. It can go here and there, and it will manifest in different ways. Sometimes we can become psychological problems, also, we can face. So, Upanishad says that instead of suppressing, you sublimate them. How? Because I'm getting two chocolates, I will not eat the first chocolate for 5 minutes. Because I will stand first in my graduation, during my graduation, I will not waste my time unnecessarily. Instead of that, I will spend my time, I will dedicate my time, more time in studies. Or I will become a scientist, so that I will not bother much about this sense gratifications. I will spend more and more time in dedication in studies, and let me think proper, and let me invent something, let me discover something. So to become one of the great scientists, to make an invention, to make a discovery, he or she has sacrificed his pleasurable life. So for the higher cause, for the higher good, for the higher happiness, merge the lower pleasures into the higher cause, into the higher happiness, into the higher bliss. This is what we mean sublimation. So the idea of sublimation has been given in this aphorism. If you get a desire, fine, turn the desire towards God. If you get anger, fine, that is our weakness, no doubt, but turn the anger towards the God. How? oh, how much ever I am doing, I am unable to reach the God, though God is gracious, God is compassionate. I should feel angry about myself. And if I feel pride, yes, I'm a son of God, I'm the daughter of God, I'm the servant of God. Like that, whatever the lacuna we have got in our personality, turn them towards the God and have a more and more Godward journey instead of journey towards the world. Means divinizing our life, divinizing our personality, or giving a higher uh, push to all our instincts and all our weakness of the mind or of our personality of our character. So that is what has been told in the 65th aphorism. Now, for a sadhaka, for the aspirant, it is a sadhana, it has to be practiced. But for a devotee who has attained the supreme devotion, parabhakti, for him it is natural. He will not have any desire other than pleasing the God or loving the God. He doesn't get angry. He's not pride on himself. He feels that he's a servant of God, is the son of God, is the daughter of God, is a part of God. So he doesn't feel unnecessary pride or unripened ego. So for him, it is a state of affair. It is a fact. But for us spiritual aspirants, it has to be achieved. Then, okay, now once you attain that state, what happens? That state of supreme devotion, how it will be, has been told in the 66th Sutra or aphorism. Trirupa Bhanga Purvakam Nityadasya Nityakanta Bhajanatmakam Premaiva Karyam Premaiva Karyam. So he's giving to give a importance, he's using the word same Premaiva Karyam Premaiva Karyam. One must love God alone, one must love God alone. So transcending the three gunas or three types, then serving God constantly as a faithful servant or as a faithful wife, one must love him, one must love him. By that, what happens? He or she attains God. Here, three rupa, I mean, three types or three kinds, they have said, I think in the 26th or 54th verse, we had, aphorism, we remember, Gauni Bhakti, or preliminary devotion, or the primary devotion. So, to transcend from ourselves from the primary devotion to the supreme devotion, what we have to do? I have to be a true servant. Then, if that means true servant means what? That means here also the master and servant relationship is there, even in the spiritual life. So, is Narada is asking to have discrimination? Someone is superior and someone is inferior, like that? No. Here, servant means it is because God is creator or God is the supreme. I am is part of it. So, to convert our unripened ego to the ripened ego, I should feel that I am the servant of God. And by becoming the servant of God, what should I do? I serve Him and serve Him alone. When I serve in a company, when I serve in a mall, or when I serve in a working place, I expect something. Okay, my owner has asked me to do work, I work, no doubt, but I expect from him a good manners. I expect him from money, and I expect him from a good gesture and probably prize, etc., etc. But here, the underlying argument is you serve the God, no doubt, but don't expect anything from him. That's what real karma yoga. A true devotee will not expect anything from the God. He loves God. He loves to serve God. He loves to think about God. He loves to remember God. Because why? God is the compassionate, is the embodiment of compassion, is the embodiment of love. So just because I love him, I love. So that I love him, so I love him, not for any reason. And I'm not taking the God as a means to achieve something. I'm loving him. No, I love him, so I love that. And this is seen very clearly in the life of Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda, we all know that he had a lot of debates with Sri Ramakrishna, with his master or guru, till his end. At the end of Sri Ramakrishna, we know that. Once, probably an year or two over, once Naren, Swami Vivekananda as a young chap, as a Naren, he came. Sri Ramakrishna was sitting on a small cart and he was conversing with the devotees. And Naren came. And as soon as earlier, when he used to see Naren, he used to feel happy and he used to give attention towards him. But this time, when Naren entered the room, Sri Ramakrishna stopped talking and he became very serious. Everyone started I mean, astonishing. What is this? And because Sri Ramakrishna used to feel so happy when he used to see Naren, and today he has become very serious and he has stopped talking. And Naren came and he paid his respects, but he never responded. He never showed any greetings, and he came stiff. Naren was there for some time, and Sri Ramakrishna turned other side. He waited for a few minutes, 2, 3, or 5 or 10 minutes, and Naren got up, and as if nothing happened, he went out and he was talking with some devotees or friends, and he went back. And after some days, Naren came again. Same action, reaction from Sri Ramakrishna. Third time Naren came, again same reaction, but Naren didn't get offended, didn't feel, why are you doing like this? He didn't get offended, he never asked, he never questioned. Instead of that, he was keeping quiet, without any reaction. Then Sri Ramakrishna asked this time, Naren, every time when you came, earlier I used to talk with you, I used to love and I used to show so much love towards you by giving sweets, by inquiring him. If you don't come for a long time, for some time, myself, I used to come in search of you to the Calcutta city. Now, all of a sudden, in your last 3 visits, I never spoke with you. I used to keep always silent. When you came, I used to stop talking. And when you go, again, I used to resume my talking. And when you come, I used to turn my face. But still, you are coming. Why is this? Then Naren started laughing and he said, Master, whether you talk with me or not, that doesn't matter for me. Then why do you come? I love you, so I will come. That's all. Whether you talk with me or not, whether you love, I mean, whether you praise me or not, whether you blame me or not, whether you make me to sit next to you, whether you kick me or not, I don't bother. Because I love you and I love you, I would like to see you. I will come and I will spend some time here. I will see you and I will enjoy that and I will go away. This was the answer from the young Naren. Sri Ramakrishna smilingly said, Look, I wanted to test your love, whether it is real or it is a fake, or how much sincere and how much deep this love is. That's the reason I was testing for 3 days, for these 3 times. Naren also nodded his head, he never reacted. Then again, Sri Ramakrishna's love, it got resumed towards Naren. That means what? Naren had never any demands towards Thakur, towards Sri Ramakrishna, his master, his teacher. He loved him, that's all. At the most, he begged for him for Nirvikalpa Samadhi, transcendental meditation, or whatever you say. He asked only for that moksha or Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Other than that, he never asked anything in return from his teacher, from his master. So, like this, there are a number of stories. So, probably from southern part of India, there was one great saint called Kanakadasa. Dasa means servant, Kanaka means because he had got a lot of gold, that's why it's called Kanakadasa. Once he had been to temple, in one of the temple, Krishna's temple. He was a great devotee of Krishna. Because of jealous of some among his own friends, so they made a play, I mean, they had made a false accusation. As a result, he was punished. So behind the temple, for both, for 2 pillars, he was tied with a rope, and in a big rope, they were beating him. And from long distance he had walked, and just to see the Lord. That itself became a cause for his punishment. And he was beaten black and blue. He never cried, he never lamented, he never cursed God, he never questioned God. Instead of that, he's saying that, Oh God, let me love you more and more. Is there any defect in me? Is there any defect in my love towards you? So why are you testing me? Please tell me. Please show me my mistake so that let me rectify. He the more and more beatings he was getting, is earning towards God, is earning towards God, is vakulata, we say in Sanskrit, his earning towards God was getting intensified, getting increased. And it became a miracle. Though, like the god's idol was facing towards east, and he was behind the temple and the western side, western part of it, he was tied to the 2 pillars and he was beaten black and blue by people. And by listening to his prayers, the wall got broken for a particular so much wall, western part of the backside of the temple, and the whole God turned towards western side, and God started giving the darshan. Then the people understood there's a mistake in understanding, there is a something, and all the people whoever made a uh, wrong accusations on him, and the person who was beating him, all of them, they fell at his feet and they begged for the pardon. They asked for apology. Then also said, "Oh, now you understood who am I." Okay, like that. He never said. Instead of that, he never bothered. He forgave them, and he went and he thanked Lord. At least you have given enough grace, infinite grace towards me. I am very thankful to you. So there was no complaint. Even after this so much, there was no complaint. There was no regrets in them, in him, that Kanakadasa. He had so much love towards Krishna. Means, as Swami Vivekananda beautifully says in Bhakti Yoga, real love doesn't do any bargain. Oh God, I will love you. You should give me riches. Oh God, I love you. You should give me pleasurable life. Oh God, I love you. You should give me a good wife, good husband, good riches. I should have a security job. All these things we keep on asking sometimes. Of course, I don't say that it is bad. We can ask, no doubt. But who wants to attain supreme devotion? Such a person, he never asks God other than the love of God. That's what here they are saying. So the person who has got supreme devotion, he only loves God. He loves to serve him. He loves to love him, just like a chaste wife or a obedient servant, real sincere servant, like how he works for his master. So like that, he tries to serve the Lord and he tries to serve the people. Why? Because everyone as a child of God. He may be saint, he may be a sinner, he may be a business person, he may be a selfish person, he may be unselfish person, he or she. He never make any discrimination. He serves everyone equally. Why? All of them are children of God. By serving them, I am serving my master. I am serving my chosen deity. I am serving my Ishtadevata. And when they get happy, that means God also will be happy because my Lord becomes happy. So, in that sense, they'll be compassionate towards the beings. They don't neglect the world. They don't neglect the people. They don't be indifferent towards all these things. Rather, there'll be so much love and compassion, these devotees. But they'll be indifferent to praise and blame. They'll be indifferent to the people's reactions. But they will not be indifferent to the people. They'll be indifferent to people's reactions. And rather, they'll be able to serve more and more as a being they're all the children of God, are children of the Lord. That's what here they are telling. So, no demand, no bargain in a real devotion. So, what is true love? What is true devotion? According to Narada, without expecting anything in the reward, just love him. Just love him. Just love him. Of course, we get everything. We get more actually without asking him. We should have that faith and we should start loving him. Then our life will be blessed. The same thing is told in Bhagavata. Savai Swami, Savai Brutyo, Gunalabdo, na Kamako. The same idea has been also given in the Bhagavata scriptures. He thinks that he is my master and I am his servant. He is my friend. He is my all in all. He is my father, he is my mother, he is my friend, he is my guru, he is my all in all. And he loves to serve him. He loves to make him happy. Just like mother always feels happy when her son or daughter is happy. So similarly, a servant, he tries to make his owner or his master to be happy. So similarly, or a chaste wife makes every attempt to make his husband happy. Every husband makes an attempt to make his wife happy. So similarly, all my actions should be turned towards God so that let God be pleased, so that all my actions, mundane actions, even the materialistic actions we say, that can be made as spiritualized. Now, by doing this, what happens? Every moment will become spiritual practice for me. Now, so morning and evening I sit for meditation, or I count my rosary, or I do some readings, or I do some prayers. That's only spiritual life or spiritual sadhana, spiritual time. All other things are materialistic life according to me. Yes, that's how we start work and worship. Then slowly, we have to evolve ourselves into the work as worship, and we have to we have to attain work is worship. So that has been told very clearly in this. And when we do all these things, what happen? All our lacunas will be filled and we will get a complete personality. We'll get a matured personality. That's what we see in all the life of great saints. Even see in the, you can see in the life of Jesus, Muhammad Paigambar, of course, one of my favorite saint, Saint Francis of Assisi. What a beautiful life. He never demanded anything. He just used to love for God. He used to love the Lord. I mean, he used to love the Jesus. He was blamed. He was put out from his community, and he was created a lot of problem from the church fathers sometimes of because of misunderstandings. But he never cared for anything. He used to love Jesus just for love's sake. And afterwards, wow, so many miracles happens, so many changes happens by him because of his companion. So many people got, I mean, attracted towards spirituality. They became monks, and they've got their own congregation and got started, and hundreds of people became devotees of the Jesus Christ, or they became started following the spiritual life. Because of why? Because of Saint Francis of Assisi love, intense love towards the God or towards the Prophet Jesus. Bhakta ekantino mukyaha means the devotees who have one pointed love for God, that is very primary. Means the real devotees, the primary devotees, they will have one pointed love for God. Same thing we can see in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. He used to pray to Mother Kali, "Oh Mother, please take your riches. Please take your poverty. Please take your goodness. Please take your badness. Please take all these things. Whatever, I don't want any of them. I want only love. Only I want devotion at your holy feet." That was the intense prayer made by Sri Ramakrishna to Mother Kali. Similarly, young Naren was asked when Sri Ramakrishna used to, I mean, before he's leaving his mortal coil, few days before, he calls Naren, and all the doors and windows were closed. And Sri Ramakrishna says, "Look, I've got occult powers, siddhis. Generally, people will have, until otherwise you have got a very advanced person, spiritually advanced person. You people may get one or two at the most. One generally, two if it is very more. They will become very great people, like gods and goddesses, and thousands of people will follow. But Sri Ramakrishna had all the eight occult powers: Anima, Lagima, Garima, Mahima, Prakashitva, all these eight siddhis. And Sri Ramakrishna said, "Look, all these eight siddhis I have got from sadhana, from spiritual practice. And I never used all of them. I never used all of them. If you want, I would like to give all these Ashta Siddhis, eight occult power for you. Will you take? Will you mind to take?" Imagine if Sri Ramakrishna asks any one of us, "So this Ashta Siddhis is there, will you mind to take?" Immediately say, "Oh God, oh Sri Ramakrishna, you are so nice, you are so compassionate. Please give me, please, I want." Generally, we tell it. No, when there is no wonder in that, of course, because we have got desires. But Naren, simply straightforward answer, straightforward question, immediately, instantly, without thinking. "Master, does it help my God realization, self realization, or to have Nirvikalpa Samadhi?" Sri Ramakrishna said, "No. It may help you to do the work of mother, to serve the people." Swami Vivekananda said, and that is the later, I don't want that. Why? Because if it is helping God realization, self realization, give me, no doubt. Otherwise, I don't need. Even all the Ashtasiddhis, eight occult powers, he rejected it. You see, the purity of mind of Naren, young Naren. Why Sri Ramakrishna loved young Naren? Because of the spiritual maturity. Means he was completely desireless person. He was with complete of purity. He was with complete of detachment. He was with man of renunciation. So he said, "No." Sri Ramakrishna laughed and he said, "Okay, fine. So I want to test you." So how Swami Vivekananda tested Sri Ramakrishna, similarly, Sri Ramakrishna also used to test Naren or Swami Vivekananda all the time. But afterwards, Sri Ramakrishna, before his leaving mortal coil, he transferred all his powers to Naren for the future mission or for the future work. So for Naren, attaining God or having a self realization was the only primary goal. He completely dedicated his mind, body, energy, everything for God realization. That's why he didn't want anything else. So that is the natural state for the devotees. I mean, a good devotees, primary devotees who has got parabhakti. But for us common people, we have to attain that state. How? By doing japam, by doing meditation, by doing prayers, intense prayer, sincere prayers to God. Oh God, please make us desireless. Please make us sincere in our efforts to love you, to reach you, to attain you, to think about you. I should not use you as a means to attain something. Instead of that, I want you and you alone. So that doesn't mean that we should neglect the world. We should not neglect the worldly affairs, our business or our jobs or whatever. No, we should do all these things. But at the same time, our goal should be attaining the God. That's what we mean. Then 68th thing, what this is. Kantavarodha Romancha Shrubi Parasparam Lapamanaha Pavayanti Kulani Putivincha. How this great devotees' nature will be. They are saying, when they start talking about God, their voice gets choked. The tears will be rolling on their cheeks, and the hairs will be standing on their body. And where they are born, their family is purified, and where the place or in the world, society where they are living, whole that place will become purified, will become electrified with the spirituality. That is the efficacy, that is the power of the devotee. Which devotee? Who has attained parabhakti, who has attained supreme bhakti. Now, so how would the people of God, that is a devotee, behave? Here we get answer. Now, for an example, we two, three people, we meet. We start talking, oh, what is the thing, what is happening in Ireland? What is happening in UK? So what is the investments, how the investments are going on? Then what is the markets? Economical or social or political or some things, worldly talks we do talk. But whereas when the devotees meet, they knowingly or unknowingly, consciously or unconsciously, they start talking about God. Even they may start worldly talk, in no time their talk will turn towards God. They will talk about God, they will talk about the God's vibhuti, God's power, God's love, God's compassion, or some incidents in the history of the devotees, life history of devotees. They keep on discussing about God, God's life, God's power, and slowly, because of their intense love towards God, their voice gets choked and their tears will roll down. And because they are hearing the God's name and God's power or God's compassion, their hairs will stand on their body as a reaction of intense love towards God. That we see very clearly in the life of Sri Ramakrishna himself. When he start telling mother's name, no time tears used to roll down. No, this is a natural action. It is not an artificial. Because some spiritual aspirants, they when they start doing prayers, they superimpose the feelings and they push their mind to cry. So they keep their they push their mind to cry so that let the tears roll down. But here, in this type of devotees who has got parabhakti, the crying, the rolling, tears rolling down, it will be very natural. It becomes a natural. Whenever they remember, whenever they hear the God's name, whenever they discuss about God's love, God's compassion, tears roll down. And their voice gets choked. Why? Because out of emotion, out of intense love towards God, because of intense feelings towards God. Same thing we can see in Swami Vivekananda. One lay disciple, Girish Chandra Ghosh, once he says to Swami Vivekananda, Naren, you are the person who saw our master Sri Ramakrishna in vicinity with very nearly. And many times, when householder devotees are not there, he used to speak exclusively with you, monastic disciples. And even many times, used to send all the monastic disciples out, used to close the doors and windows for long hours. He used to discuss with you, he used to share his views, his ideas, his thoughts with you alone, exclusively. Naren, Swami Vivekananda, he nods his head. Yes, that is true. So that means you have understood Sri Ramakrishna better than anyone of us, either monastic disciples or lay disciples. So why don't you write a biography of the master? Naren was such a, capacity, has got a language skills, writing skills, speaking skills, and such a, genius person. It would have been easy for him. It will be easy for anyone. That's what we think. But Sri Swami Vivekananda says, look, if you want to dry the ocean, you tell me, I will do it by spiritual power. Or if you want to, sizzle it out, or if you want to crush the whole Himalayas, you tell me, I'm ready to do. But you never tell me, or to write the biography of Sri Ramakrishna, it becomes impossible for me. One is that he is infinite. His Sachidananda Sagar is infinite. I cannot describe him. How much ever I try to describe, that is not enough and that will be limited. That is from philosophical angle. And the other is, the moment he thinks of his master Sri Ramakrishna, the moment he starts speaking of Sri Ramakrishna, his voice used to get choked. In the whole of West, so many lectures he gave. So many times, people, the Western disciples, they pressed him. Please talk about your teacher, master, Sri Ramakrishna. Whenever he started talking about it, in few sentences, his voice used to get choked and tears used to roll down. Such a gnani, such a meditative monk, Dhyana Siddha, and he never used to speak. He couldn't speak, and he used to voice get choked and he used to stop. Only in two places he was able to talk for some time, and the two lectures has been clubbed, and today we are able to see that Swami Vivekananda's views on his on Sri Ramakrishna as my master. Such a rational personality, such a scientific mental person, and such a with a thorough reading, understanding, all these things we see in life of Swami Vivekananda, but he was unable to speak about the master. Why? Because out of love, out of devotion towards his teacher, his voice used to get choked. He was not able to talk. He used to feel, but he was not able to talk. So that's what happens when the devotees talk each other. They start talking, the tears roll down, and their voice gets stoked because of the love. And that is natural. And such people, they are born in particular family. What happens? That family will be blessed. Others will be get blessed because of this people's, birth. And wherever they are there, that atmosphere become very spiritual, very elevating, and that atmosphere becomes pure. The air becomes pure, the place becomes pure, and the people ideas also, if they tune their mind little, they will be able to get the pure thoughts, holy thoughts. That is the power of a devotee. That is the, a devotee can have so much efficacy on the people also. That is not his interest, that is not his intention, but as a reaction it happens. So wherever such devotees are there, that place will become the place of pilgrim. We have got a lot of pilgrimage places in India or in the any part of the world, isn't it? All this because dedicated with the prophets or incarnations with the saints. So these great devotees are saints, the purer people in the world. Wherever they are there, that becomes pilgrim. And in the next aphorism, he tells that if he goes to pilgrim place, that pilgrim spiritual power gets increased. And if he takes a, bathing in the holy water, the holiness in the holy water gets increased. And if he reads a scripture, the power of scripture gets increased. Why? Because of his life, because of his devotion, because of his intense love towards the God. That is the power of the devotee. That's what has been told in the next aphorism. Tirti kurvanti tirtani, sukarmi kurvanti karmani, sachastra kurvanti shastrani. Means such devotees who has got parabhakti, who has got the highest devotion, make holy places holier and render all actions blessed and make the scriptures sacred. Scriptures are sacred, and these people, when they study scriptures, when they talk the scriptures about the scriptures, and the scriptures gets more blessed, they become more sacred. Pilgrim places, they're already they're holy places. When these people go, they become holier, and any action becomes holier by these people's touch, by these people's action. That is the greatness of devotion. May Sri Ramakrishna, every holy saint of every order, every religion, let all of them bless us so that we shall also try to get that real devotion towards the Lord, real love, intense love, pure love towards the God. प्रियतां पुण्डरीकाक्षः सर्वयज्ञेश्वरो हरिः तस्मिन् तुष्टे जगत्तुष्टं प्रीणिते प्रीणितं जगत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ तत्सत् श्रीरामकृष्णार्पणमस्तु